No, please stop. Stop. Good morning. It's a lot of presents. Really. You can just leave the presents on the back table. That'll be fine. So good morning. Before we get started, just a couple of comments. So it was interesting hearing some of the feedback this morning of people that came in, and I said, we're really excited to have all you guys here. And they said, well, we're kind of interested in what you have to say, but we really just miss being around people. So we're kind of here just for the social. Is there an after party after this that we can kind of hang out? But legitimately, we have missed you. It's been 2 years since we've done this event, and we actually, planned this event initially as our way to, yes, look back. To say the last 2 years have been a challenge has been an understatement for all of us, but this has really been our opportunity to kind of set the stage and where we're going. This is a special place, and we feel very strongly that there's a lot to be excited about and a lot to be proud of. One of the things that makes Sacramento, and frankly downtown are the incredible people that are the heartbeat of this city. These homegrown heroes are the real champions that make downtown special, and I want to take just a couple of minutes to recognize them. First, I want to acknowledge the restaurants and small businesses that survived the last 2 years. I know there's a lot of both out here. I cannot imagine what it's been like to stay open as a small business, to be a restaurant, to hire people, to retain people, and they deserve our support. Their resourcefulness and the ability to adapt their operating practices to stay open has been instrumental in serving this community. And to the small businesses, thank you for sticking with us. Additionally, we continue to hear from entrepreneurs that are choosing downtown Sacramento, like Trifecta, WebConnects, Rumble Motors, Cambria Solutions, and many others. These entrepreneurs and businesses continue to look at downtown as a place where their employees want to work. These innovative companies sell downtown as an amenity, and that's a tremendous responsibility to us. We want people to feel good about coming to work downtown, and we're incredibly grateful to have their support, to have downtown be a place people feel comfortable about coming to work. Downtown would not have been as strong these last couple of years without a few key champions. The quick actions of our council member, Katie Valenzuela, were vital as she brought forward conflict solutions to deal with some public safety concerns last summer on the old Sacramento waterfront. Additionally, the continued dedication from our mayor and the entire city council have been essential in fostering the future of downtown. The resources provided by the American Rescue Dollars are going to be pivotal in helping us get downtown back on track and the historic waterfront moving forward. Also want to acknowledge Congresswoman Matsui. You heard in her comments today, she has been a steadfast champion for this community to not only identify resources, but believe in the work that we're doing downtown. Congresswoman, thank you. I additionally want to mention our collaboration with the County of Sacramento. Our supervisor, Phil Cerna, the rest of the County Board of Supervisors. I believe she's here, but under the new leadership of County Exec Ann Edwards. Ann, we're excited to work with you. These county resources are going to be helpful to us as we look not only to manage the public safety downtown, but the impacts of the county jail and managing the urban environment. People need to feel safe about being downtown. I also want to acknowledge, and I'm not sure where he's at, but our city manager, Howard Chan. Howard, your tenacious support for our community, for economic development, for our organization, and your leadership of this city. The entire staff has been a partner with us, and we would not be here without their ability to enhance the resiliency of our city. Thank you, Howard. All right, and I'm trying to find the police table here, but we have a new police chief in Kathy Lester, and we are lucky to have Kathy here. So I tortured Kathy for years as the downtown captain that had to be part of our board. But Kathy, it's an exciting time for this community, and your leadership is going to be not only tremendous, but the timing could not be better. So obviously this is not an exhaustive list, and there's a lot of people that have played a role in supporting downtown. It has been a challenge the last couple of years, but on behalf of all of us, many of you that are here today, your support of downtown is appreciated. Thank you. So, you can clap if you want. But. So, when we were doing this kind of run through of this presentation a couple weeks ago, we were trying to say, all right, the last 2 years, what are all the positives of the last couple of years? And, it's not all been doom and gloom. And granted, there has been a lot of challenges the last couple of years, but some real highlights that came forward for us. Over the last couple of years, we've seen over 12.5 million visitors to our district last year alone. Specifically, Old Sacramento was re-engaged and saw a nearly 60% increase in foot traffic in Old Sacramento, with key amenities like the waterfront wheel, the Front Street Carousel, the Heart Arch Dance on the Edge, and live music. These pivots were interesting because it unintentionally caused one of the things that we've hoped for a long time, re-engaging this community with Old Sacramento and the waterfront. And during the pandemic, there wasn't a lot to do, but Old Sacramento benefited, and hopefully we'll see future business from all of you. So what has caused the big increase in people coming back downtown? Well, you heard John Reinhardt talk a little bit about it. The Golden One Center being active. We've had Kings games. We've had concerts. We've had events at the Golden One Center that bring a real sense of energy, not just to the center, but to the surrounding streets and businesses that are there. We also saw the award-winning production of Hamilton that opened our Safe Credit Union Performing Arts Center. Speaking of the Golden One Center, they celebrated 5 years in 2021 and have welcomed nearly 6 million visitors downtown. And we knew when it was developed, the discussions of where should it be, we said if it was developed downtown, it would not only bring capital investment, but it would be a game changer for economic development in the region. And we've seen over $6.5 billion of economic investment surrounding that center's projected development. Nearly a 50% increase in foot traffic on event days, which directly supports downtown retail. In 2021, we were able to see the return of many of our own special events. The downtown ice rink at Ali Yousefi Square and the Theater of Lights came back in full force to the Old Sacramento waterfront. This year, we're bringing more events back. Just next month, we'll see the return of the St. Patrick's Day Parade at the Old Sacramento waterfront, and this summer, concerts return to Cesar Chavez Plaza. Rock on. There was a debate on my rock on with the staff. They said, I really should turn around and do it that way, but we're looking forward to have you there. These events are game changers for us, and let's acknowledge it. I mean, an event like today, we want people back to special events. Let's start bringing some energy, some fun, some excitement back. We're encouraged to see the appetite for continuing to live downtown in an urban center, and downtown's occupancy rate for residential is at 97%. Projects this last couple of years, we've seen 700 residential units completed last year, nearly a 50% increase in development of housing. Projects like the Press at Midtown, the Eleanor at 16th and E, and the Southsider at 10th and U. And there are more on the horizon. There are 3,300 units right now currently under construction, with another 8,000 units being proposed. People want to live here. Within our own district, Anthem's Cathedral Square project will bring 153 units. The Frederick on Capitol Mall, 162 units, and the proposed Southern Land Company's Lot X project, another 225 residential units. Together, these projects will include additional office and retail. Other projects, the Rail Yard's first residential project, the AJ, will add close to 350 units later this year, and Sacramento Commons will add an additional 450 units. Housing is critical. If we are going to build the critical mass to support retail and energy, we need to do everything we can in partnering with the city to make housing easier. We believe in a walkable downtown. We know living in an urban center and the environment is important, not only for the residents to take advantage of these incredible amenities, but for the economic health of our community. Downtown residents have a 3 times larger buying power than those that simply work downtown, and increasing our housing supply will directly benefit our small businesses who are just blocks away from many of these exciting residential projects. We recently saw 2 impressive hotels open downtown. The Hyatt-centric and adaptive reuse project opened at the historic Marshall Hotel, and the Exchange brought to life the iconic California Fruit Building. These projects added an additional 270 hotel rooms to our district, and the Fort Sutter in Midtown added an additional 105 rooms to the central city. All of these projects added up to increase our occupancy for increase our hotel rooms by 12%. We have the AC Marriott also coming at 7th and I, and the Hyatt House, an innovative adaptive reuse project, both under construction, that will add another 300 units to the city's inventory. I want to acknowledge this time our partner and friend, Mike Testa, and his team at Visit Sacramento. They do an amazing job of not just activating the Safe Credit Union and Convention Center, but also bringing signature events to this community that have brought us a national identity for our region and have made Sacramento and downtown a true destination. And frankly, the building we were in today would not be here without their leadership. Mike, on behalf of our organization in this community, thank you and the entire hospitality community for what you do. So the pandemic also brought about some needed changes to some key programs. We were able to grow the alfresco dining, ease ABC restrictions, and the parking services department pivots to implement curbside pickup were critical. On top of that, the Great Plates program provided a lifeline to many of our restaurants. Despite all these challenges, we've seen 25 new retailers open this past year, and another 18 are projected to open later this year. Downtown is ripe, we feel, with an infrastructure of opportunity for those looking to make their dreams come true of opening a business in downtown Sacramento. We've also seen some small businesses expand. A couple of examples: Capital Books opened a new game shop and cafe there and back again, and a few of our Calling All Dreamers participants that recently opened second locations, Wired Wine and Blossom Bathhouse. But we also know for all the good that has come, there have been some challenges that we continue to navigate. These past 2 years have seen some incredible challenges as it relates to public safety and perception. We've seen a rise in criminal behavior, and these social challenges play a huge factor for us as we look to welcome people back downtown in the next coming months and years. We know perception is everything to us, and Dion Dwyer, who I know is here, and his team do an incredible job of not only leaning into this issue, partnering with law enforcement, but making sure this environment is ready to welcome people back. We cannot do enough there to stress that. So what makes up our district? Obviously, the office market is very important to us. The return to office that many of us dreamed of has not come near quick enough. The foundation of our district has been and will be the Class A office market, and the uncertainty of that office market impacts everything that we're doing, from small retailers to other support businesses, and it's an enormous challenge to our district. But it also presents an opportunity for us. The diversification and growth of downtown, looking at new industries that will bring new workers that haven't historically been here to downtown, has got to be a priority for us. The addition of more housing, retail, and amenities to reactivate downtown's urban center has got to be the focus. We have always been adaptable, and we are absolutely encouraged by the future of downtown. One of our greatest strengths is the need to adjust, and we must adjust. Last year, we lost a giant in the Sacramento community. Randy Perigary was an incredibly influential force in growing Sacramento into the farm-to-fork foodie hub that it is today. Randy made major investments in the Central City for years and was one of the early pioneers of investing on K Street. Randy once said that he felt restaurant business was made up entirely, 100% of dreamers. I, for one, am glad Randy chose to dream big in our city. You know, we also know the pandemic has had some major blows to the downtown business community. We saw important businesses, from a candy apothecary to an Irish pub, close their doors. And while we're sad to see any business close, we are inspired by something Henry DeVere White said: all this change and heartbreak can also lead to new ideas and adventures. I'll be the first to admit that I hate to lose iconic businesses, but I believe that this can be harnessed into an opportunity for something new to grow. And it's this optimism that inspires us to re-envision what our downtown can and should look like. We've been presented a real opportunity to grow as people, as businesses, as industries in the heart of our city, but it's going to take a lot of work if we're going to collectively work to get back to downtown, a downtown that we all envision it becoming. We can't do this work alone, but we know it can be done. Downtowns have been around for centuries, and they continue to evolve and reinvent themselves, and downtown Sacramento is no exception. I'd like to ask that you continue to work with us in moving forward as a unified and strategic group. In 2020, as the pandemic raged, we took a look at our own organization and looked what we could be doing different to support our struggling downtown. We commissioned a firm to help us look at this opportunity in new and creative ways, and I'll share with you just a couple steps from our strategic plan that are going to help guide us in that vision for the potential that we know that we're capable of achieving. First, we will continue to advocate for resources to ensure the quality of life for downtown's workers, visitors, and residents, those housed and unhoused. We know an enhanced quality of life pays off. A downtown that satisfies the full range of its community's needs is a more attractive place to live, work, and play. We're expanding upon pilot lighting projects. You've already seen, hopefully, the lighting project here at 12th and K and the soon-to-be lit iconic sign at the Old Sacramento waterfront. We understand the need for an increased population downtown. We want people to call this a residential neighborhood. And with that in mind, we embrace a renewed commitment to creative economic and business development that can curate housing development of all types and foster our homegrown talent and innovators. A lot of this is going to rely on key partnerships with our PBID partners, specifically the Midtown Association, the R Street Corridor, Broadway and River Districts, and our colleagues at the Metro Chamber, Asian Pacific Chamber, and Greater Sacramento Economic Council. We are truly grateful to have your partnerships, and I cannot thank you enough. Yeah. Finally, we believe we have a bright future for our urban core, and we will continue to elevate downtown Sacramento as a vibrant place that nurtures innovation, culture, and community. A phrase many of us have embraced lately has been, "There's no opportunity like a crisis," and we have absolutely faced one of the greatest crises of our generation. The ball is in our court, and we must all decide how we're going to change our trajectory. We know it's going to take collaboration and public-private partnerships, fostering a culture of innovation and growth, and a significant investment in quality of life. There is a lot of seed planting for us to do. So finally, a lot of this is to say it would be incredibly easy for us, and we talked about this as a staff, to be depressed, admit defeat, to say, where have we come? It's only a couple of years ago we were standing on this stage talking about the excitement and energy of where we had come from. But we feel strongly, we are downtown together. This is just the beginning of our next chapter. We are not giving up. We will get back to growing downtown into the thriving and urban center that we all envision it becoming. So I'm going to transition to some highlights for you, but I do want to acknowledge this is personal to us. When we talk about this as an organization, we talk about this as a staff, what's taking place on the streets, what's taking place in our community, this is family. We know many of the owners. We know most of the businesses. We know this community, and we are not giving up on this. This organization was created to be the voice of downtown. To my board members that are out there, to the staff that we have, we are as committed to this mission as we have ever been, and it would be easy to back away, but we are not doing that, and we're excited. So let's just take a minute to celebrate some of the highlights of last year.